Welcome back for part 4 of our manufacturing series. This one is going to be focused on our accountants. When we talk about what's next, it's really not forgetting about our bean counters, right? So accounting is a big factor here. This is not just manufacturing software. This is also for our accountants and understanding our financials and understanding our payables and receivables and our income statement. And all of that information is part of this. So while I'm currently in a profile that is specific to manufacturing, we do have profiles. So if I come into my settings and switch, I can go and look at an accountant profile. All right. And I'm going to get a different view, a different way of seeing information that may be specific to accounting. Okay, and so I immediately see a dollar amount, right? I didn't see any dollar amounts at all on the manufacturing side because that's not what it's about. I mean, yes, there are dollars and cents involved with production, right? But it's more about what am I making? What do I need to make it? Who do I have available to make it? And making sure the inventory is there and available so that we can drive sales, so that we can grow our revenue numbers. And that's where the accountant comes in to say, hey, everything's looking really healthy. Why is that happening? Where are we looking? What's coming? And again, item centric when we're on the production operation side, very much cash flow basis, cash flow centric when we're on the accounting side of things. Both payables and receivables, and what is the net of that to tell me, are we going to be profitable? Are we going to lose some money? Hopefully not in a long-term scenario, but I have all of that information. Watched some of the management on Power BI and what production has. Have no fear. Those same kind of great Power BI dashboards, you can already see a little preview of it. If I expand this up, we have that same kind of concept, but all for accounting. Okay, and again, this is available whether you're in production or not, but this is all to do with operations. Our business specifically supports manufacturing and job costing and things like that. So that's why this demo is so long, is because we have a lot to cover, because we cover a lot of bases. So I can get into kind of my high level financial overview. I can see what's my current revenue, what's my profit off of that revenue. Where do my assets stand today? What are my sales outstanding? I can get into a lot of kind of KPI information at a high level, but then I can drill into each of these in the subsequent reports, okay? And so it's not just based on the cost, but then breaking it into cost of capacity, job cost, raw materials. So all of those things that our production orders and our manufacturing and operations is tracking. Now I'm on the accounting side of it, and I'm more concerned with the dollars and cents across the years and what are my totals. So that is where we get into on the finance side. So don't think that because I started this with very operational heavy information that we forget about this. Okay, at the core of Business Central, it is an accounting system. Yes, it has fantastic production capability, the ability to empower the shop and do all that kind of analytics on the operation side. It's the same, if not better, on the accounting side to track, KPIs for liquidity, your quick asset ratio, your current ratio, your cash ratio, all of that information, getting down to EBITDA, right? Like, oh, okay, so we started off kind of low, but then we're spiking here as we grow into fiscal year 2025. And so I can see that kind of information on what's driving that, looking into the information, our aged receivables, aged payables, like what is going on with our numbers. So all of that kind of information is available inside of, again, Business Central, but then we use Power BI to make it visual. So while the data's there, I can go and look at ledger entries all day long. This makes it visual, where I can see pie charts, graphs, scatter plots, whatever I need to make it where I can see the information faster and be able to, again, make decisions off of it. So based on our aged payables, are we paying too fast? Are we paying too slow? Are we hitting fees because we're not hitting discount periods? I mean, all of that kind of information you could be tracking inside your business software if you really wanted to. All right, so the sky's the limit, but you've got to be on a platform like Business Central to be able to fully utilize and maximize your investment. Now, even within accounting, sometimes there's an analytical side of things where I need to look up information. Where did something come from? So we'll go to our general ledger entries, right? Everybody in accounting knows what a general ledger entry is. And so if there's a transaction that has occurred within a specific account, I can see the numbers, right? I can see, all right, we have $250 of costs that hit our GL account on a specific date. Well, I have this button up here called Find Entries, and this is like my great audit tool that says, okay, that came from a posted purchase invoice. I can literally click on it and it will take me to that exact invoice, and I can see, that was a freight charge. That makes sense. I understand that. Okay. But I can also see where else in the GL. So maybe this transaction hit 6 GL accounts or 8 GL accounts because there was 5 items and 4 different GL accounts hit with their posting setups. I can see all that information, and I can see what were my net accounts, where was the offset of this one, where did it land, all of that great audit capability. But then you take it a step further, right? So instead of just filtering down the information, I can get into literally pivot table analysis directly within my Business Central system without going to Excel. Now I know, take a breath if you're an accountant. Excel doesn't go anywhere. I have the ability to take whatever I'm analyzing and then share it to Excel, right? So I can open whatever I'm looking at in Excel if you prefer Excel. And this is throughout the system, the ability to share the data to Excel. But you don't necessarily have to. It may make more sense to build up views, and I can make as many of these analysis views as I want to be able to analyze the data. And you don't have to think through all of the bells and whistles, the way the formats should look. I can use AI, right? And that may scare people, but AI is coming, and we want to utilize it when it's available to us. So I could literally come in here and say, by calendar year, show me totals by account. Okay, and we'll see what happens with our generation. Sorry, I haven't tested this one. I just kind of made it up on the fly. But what it's going to do is it's going to say yearly totals by account. And so then it's grouped it by our calendar year. I can then look into it. So it didn't quite group it by our GL account. So we'll actually add that here. And so now I can expand it and say, okay, here's my accounts. And then I can look into specific ones and see the entries for it. But maybe it's a top level view. So while this isn't fantastic in terms of an analysis, it gives you a little concept of what you can do with it. And then you start adding the ability to filter, or maybe if I put a pivot mode on it and I start my pivot with the dimension or something like that. So we're going to split it by the department code. So now I can see within my sales accounts for the different years, where did the numbers fall? And so I can get into a little bit more of a different view, or I could do it by, instead of department code, we'll do the customer group. We'll take department code back out. So now large customer versus medium versus small customers, I can see where do the numbers land, where do they fall. Of course, I can scroll left and right to see that information. But the more I can take it and analyze it here on screen before I dump it out to Excel and get all the detail, the better off I can be. And what's great about it is it saves that information. So I can rename this and call it whatever I want, but then that is a saved view. So even when I'm not analyzing it and I'm looking through my GL and I'm doing my searches and filters and stuff like that, whenever I need to, I can pop back into my analysis view. I forgot to save it. But once it's saved, then you can keep that view. So when you generate it by AI, it is something you do have to accept, and so I forgot to save it, so my view is gone. But that is what it will do, is it will save that view for you, just like it saved analysis too, and that way you can pull it up as fast as you possibly need to, to be able to view that information that way, that time. Okay, and again, it's pulling from all of your general ledger in real time as those transactions happen. So throughout a day, those numbers may change. So if you're waiting on a big payment to arrive from a customer, or there's a big sale that needs to go through and you're waiting for those numbers to hit the books, all of that information will be tracked in real time and available to you through that analysis mode. Now that's within Business Central. Again, you still have that Power BI capability to throw it into the dashboard, as well as make your own and have your own dashboard views to see it exactly how you like. Don't forget to check out the next video in this series, and if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. Thank you.